everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're having a gorgeous day. If it's Sunday that you're watching this on the day of upload, then I hope you're having a gorgeous Sunday wherever you are and whatever you're doing. In today's video you're going to be coming to the horses with me and I'm going to be showing you my everyday routine there. And I'm going to try and romanticize it a little bit. It's dark, it's grey, it's gloomy, it's raining outside, it's really not very pleasant, but this is what 99.9% of days in the winter living in the UK look like. So it's definitely got to the point where it's time to accept it, and I'm a great believer in romanticising the everyday and just trying to look for the beauty in every day, and however cliche that may sound, it really does help with your mindset and it really does just help you get through the winter. And for example with the rain, there's not very much to enjoy about the rain, but the sound of the rain. The sound of the rain is so relaxing. Lots of people put rain sounds on to sleep to. So if it's raining outside, you're working from home, you're working in an office, you're walking your dogs, you're doing whichever and whatever, and it's tipping it down outside, just stop for a second and just enjoy the sound of it. Unless you move to a boiling hot country, you're not really going to be able to escape it. I'm a great believer in trying to not worry about the things that you can't control, the weather being one of them. We can't stop the weather, unfortunately, we just have to get on and live with it. So dead talk over, we are going to be going to the horses and trying to enjoy a bit of a wet day there. I've got the farrier coming a little bit later as well, and I've started walking Truly. If you're new here, Truly is my 2-year-old coming 3 Welsh section D. Full name Truly Scrumptious. Love her. As you come out of her field, you're directly onto the New Forest, and she will be broken at some point this year, very slowly. I'm in no rush with her. But it's actually just so nice just taking her for a walk. I've never really walked a horse before. You walk a dog, you ride a horse, but it's just getting her used to everything, and she's taking everything in her stride and she's just being such a good girl. So if it's not tipping it down, we will also go on a little 30-minute walk with her. Obviously that part of the video won't be 30 minutes long, do not panic, but if I walk from her field all the way around to the stables the long way around, it takes about 30 minutes. So long as it's not pitch black and tipping it down, then I'll be doing that. We're going to be spending tomorrow together as well at home, and I've got some really nice deliveries incoming too, so I can share all of those with you. So grab a cup of tea, get super cozy. I hope you love this video, and we're now going to get ready for the horses together. And first job, choosing my outfit for the day. Welcome to my equestrian wardrobe. An array of different base layers. Today's base layer of choice is going to be a Mieux one, and breeches of choice are from HAULS gloss. In the winter, whenever I'm choosing a base layer at the moment, they have to have like a soft inside. It's still so chilly. Currently couldn't think of anything worse than putting on like a shiny, cold to the touch one on. Today's outfit is an old colour from Mieux. This is the fig from also about 2 years old. These are from HAULS gloss, but I just love the back of them. They're just absolutely gorgeous. 3, 2, 1, I'm going to be dressed just like magic. Now let's choose the next layer. Another side to my equestrian wardrobe. Dark and it's cold, so it's going to definitely mean layering up today. I think we'll go for one of those. I decided to go quite Mieux heavy actually, so if I've got another fig jacket on, this is the perfect layering jacket. I'm not actually sure what it's called, and I don't think they came out with one last year, but if they're still on the website I will leave it linked. It's just perfect for putting under big jumpers and big jackets. Because then on top of that, I'm then going to put another really old item from Mieux on. This is when they used to do the full zip fleeces and they were just the best thing in the world. This one's in black and it is just so cozy. So rather than having my big equi-dry on over the top, this is now me ready to go to the yard. We're going to make a coffee to take with us as well. So guys, prior to making my coffee to go to the horses, I've just had an Amazon delivery and I actually have to share it with you because for any of my horsey girls or boys, or if you've got parents or friends with birthdays coming up and you want to gift something that's horsey and really lovely, then these two are such great options and I'll leave them linked for you down below. First things first is this notebook. Now I'm a stationery girly, but when stationery combines with horses, chef's kiss. Look at the pattern, I actually love it. I think this was about £5 and it's actually really big. I was expecting it to be a lot smaller than this. I just love the print, it's so aesthetic. This is such a winner. And then I've got a coffee table book. Now the reason that I have this coffee table book, if you don't follow Alex Collins, get on it. She's a really great friend of mine, but her YouTube videos are incredible, and her Instagram. If ever you're struggling with styling or if you want outfit ideas, anything like that, her Instagram is the go-to. On her Instagram stories the other day, she was asking people to recommend her some equestrian coffee table books. Of which I thought, oh my goodness, what a lovely idea, why have I not got equestrian coffee table books? And then I took to the internet and there's such a lack of really nice hardcover equestrian books. So I took to Amazon. I found loads. This one was the nicest for the price especially. How gorgeous is this on a coffee table? I absolutely love it. It's not super thick, this is so heavy. This is the back as well, so obviously you can choose your aesthetic. And the inside is also just absolutely gorgeous. So this is such a lovely book. And again, I will leave it linked for you. And a digestive for luck. If you've not tried the white chocolate ones, they are elite. So one of the best things about being at this yard is always seeing the New Forest ponies literally just wandering up past the yard. It's amazing. This is something that I forget actually, that this is, I think, is one of the only places in the UK that actually has wild horses just roaming free around villages, roads, etc. As well as donkeys and pigs, cows, everything. It's really amazing. Definitely something that's taken for granted if you live in the New Forest, because I feel like you think that everywhere's like this and it really isn't. Well everybody, I've just arrived at the yard and yes, this is rain. This is disgusting today. But I have 45 minutes to muck out, do the hay nets, bring Ringo in, and then get Truly in and also give her her walk before the farrier arrives. So I do have to get my bottom in gear and get going. So let's go. Luckily both ponies didn't finish all their hay last night, so I can prioritise getting them in and then doing hay nets after the farrier. I have exactly half an hour to catch Truly, take her for a walk and get back here for the farrier, so let's go. The spring bulbs are slowly coming up. Spring is hopefully going to actually start soon. But we're going to be walking up in that direction once I've caught her. Hi baby girlie. Oh, it's a bit muddy, isn't it? Okay, and our walk begins. You did this yesterday, didn't you, for the first time? Yeah. Lots of heavy breathing, yeah. All the heavy breathing. Right, we've got to duck going under here. Yeah, head down, otherwise you get your head hit. Yeah, that's clever. Oh, so much breathing. Come on, baby. Yeah, down here. Good horsey. Do you remember this from yesterday? Yeah? You do? So guys, we then come literally to the New Forest. We've got quite a big hill to manage and there's a big ditch in between, so we've got to go one either side. I'm hoping my filming's okay because it's just on my phone, so I'm hoping it's not going to be too wobbly. But it's so good for her, just coming for a walk. I mean, she's a bit friskier today than she was yesterday because the weather's not so nice, is it, honey? The rain and wind always makes them a little bit friskier. And then we have to go up this bit of hill, which kind of looks like a dead end, but it's actually okay. It's so steep. We're both out of breath and very unfit. Ooh. Here is our current view. I mean, it's much nicer when it's not raining and misty, but it is beautiful up here. I'm just so out of breath. You good horsey. You good girl. You are. My little baby. My little Gigi. You rubber girl. She really chills out on the flat. I think it's when she can't see what's going to go up the hill that we start to just get a little bit quicker. And now we're nearly back. We slow down a bit on the way home. We're like, we know where we're going now. Nothing exciting happens down here. Oh dear. You're such a good horsey. You really are the best horsey ever. Other than Ringo, of course. my least favourite task, which is filling the hay nets. Yeah, come and join me. Excusing the flashing light, everybody, but it's now dinner time. This sound always reminds me of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Or Oliver Twist. Back from the horses, and I'm just feeling damp and I'm feeling cold and like I need a really nice hot warm bath. However, I am famished. For some reason over the last week I've not made it back home from the yard until about 7 o'clock at night, and I am so hungry. So I don't like to do it too often, but it is a night, I think, for a microwave meal, just because I have no energy to cook, especially for one. So I've got some of the new Marks and Spencer's protein ones. Every one I've had so far has been delicious, actually, which, so they should be for the price, they're not cheap. But then I'm gonna have the salmon Thai curry one, I think, this evening. And then before I do have my bath, I've been redecorating my office. But when I say that, what I mean is I painted one wall about a month ago, got bored. Well, I got bored painting half of it, and then about a week later thought, well, I better paint the other half. And the rest of the room could do with being done. So I may just actually paint the other side of the room, let that dry overnight, and then do the second coat tomorrow, and then have a nice bath and get into bed. I've been watching Outer Banks actually recently, which I'm obsessed with. I tried to get into it about a year and a half ago and just couldn't get into it for the life of me. And then the other day I just needed something on in the background while I was editing, and just thought, well, I'll put that on because I will focus on my editing and not on that. Big mistake. I am so obsessed. And John B, the man is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful guy. But anyway, it's time for dinner, everybody. Excusing my pretty crazy appearance right now. As I get ready this morning, we need to catch up. Something happened last night that I can't even put into words. How it happened, why it happened, how I dealt with it, how I didn't cry, how I didn't have a panic attack. But before getting into the story, the reason that I didn't panic and didn't cry and didn't just have an absolute meltdown is because I didn't have time to, because paint dries. So, backstory into redecorating my office. Definitely need more blush this morning. So I started redecorating my office about a month and a half ago. Painted half a wall, got very bored and decided to not continue the rest until I could be bothered. However, then obviously as time has passed, I am looking at half a white wall and half a not white wall and thinking actually it's putting me off coming into my office, and this is somewhere that I really need to want to come into. So it needs finishing. Also pre-story as well, I have a whole redecorating kit in my garage. But could I be bothered to walk out of my house into my garage to get my big roller? No. What roller did I have in the cupboard? One that was literally this size, something the size of my pinky finger. So no wonder I didn't just get bored painting half of this wall. I mean, I got absolutely beyond and above because it took me 6 hours to paint like this much of a wall. So yesterday I decided to actually go down into my garage and get my big roller out, of which I should have done that from the very beginning because it literally took me about half an hour to paint the whole room with one coat. But that's not the story. The story is, before I went around with my masking tape, I thought to myself, I'll paint the skirting boards and all of the woodwork, etc. in the room with a white satin paint. Now, thank goodness really it was the satin paint, because I feel like satin obviously comes up a lot easier. At this moment in time, there's just me in the house. Nobody else, there's no sound, nothing, just me. I've left the white paint with the lid ajar on an old tablecloth which I'm using as my dust sheet. Mistake one, tablecloth, not actual dust sheet, because said tablecloth was an old linen tablecloth. You might be able to see where this is now going. So I'm minding my own business, I'm painting my skirting boards, I'm living my, I say best life, my most bored life. But at this point I'm excited for the finished product. I bought some new artwork for my office, which I'll unbox with you guys in a little bit because it's literally just arrived. So little to my knowledge, the cat has come into the room. And what do cats like to do? They like to rub up against surfaces, don't they? So what did my darling Gigi decide to do? She decided to have a cuddle with the paint pot. A brand new paint pot. White paint pot. Neutral coloured carpet. About 30 seconds later I turn around to, dip my paintbrush back into this pot. The pot is no longer there. I'm thinking, where is the pot gone? The pot is completely tipped up on the floor. So no, I didn't have time to cry, I didn't have time to panic, I didn't have time to take a photo of the mess either because paint is drying and paint was literally drying there and then underneath me. I switched my logic on very quickly, which at 9 o'clock at night after a very long day, logic isn't really necessarily like the first thing that comes to mind. Well, tough shit sugar, because I literally had to get my bottom in gear, run downstairs. Luckily, I have like a proper carpet cleaner, the type that sucks things up, like if the doggies have an accident, anything like that, sucks it up, no trace at all, nothing. Got my floor cleaning bucket upstairs in the airing cupboard. I filled that up with some really hot water and just put it on top to start with, just thinking it might keep it damper. Excuse the squeaky chair that I'm sat on, but obviously beforehand, I scooped up all the paint, put it back in the paint pot as much as I could, and then put the water down, then went and got the electric thingy-mablobby. How I've done it, I will never know. This morning, you wouldn't even know that I dropped a single splash of paint on the floor. My carpet cleaner picked everything up. So I will leave it linked for you in case you also are accident prone. It's the Vax one and they're not ridiculously expensive. I mean, if they're perfect if you've got pets, if you've got an outdoor lifestyle, even if you've got cats and they sometimes come in with muddy paws, anything like that brings everything up. Like a big industrial Hoover size one, or they do one that I've got which is just like a little handheld one and you can take it to the car, you can take it sort of anywhere and everywhere. So then at 11 o'clock I had finally finished painting that room. I did very nearly film a time lapse of it all, but thank goodness I didn't because the camera would have been where the paint pot was. Going forward, if ever I'm going to paint a room, which I feel like I will never do ever again, I will instead just save up and get a decorator in, I will shut every single door behind me and just lock myself in. But anyway, main reason why I'm getting ready today, March is booked and busy, and on days that I either vlog or edit, I've got so many events on, things happening, etc. So I just need to get a little bit ahead and just film 1 or 2 videos that I can just have ready and uploaded. And just for example, if I don't get time to edit a vlog quick style, I've got some other vlogs that I can get up, so I'm going to do an updated Q&A today. I feel like it's been a really long time coming anyway. I've had lots of lovely new subscribers recently as well, so there might be things that you don't know about me or that you may have wanted to know about me. I've also got the greasiest hair in the world because I have a hair appointment in a day's time and my hairdresser really likes my hair greasy, so however much I'm desperate to wash it, I can't. And if you watch one of my last Vlogmas episodes, I got my hair done and I got something different done to my hair for the first time in over a decade. Got some balayage and got a root put in. I had blonde highlights from the get-go, and looking back at old photos and videos of me now with blonde, I just don't suit it. I can't look at myself the same anymore. I'm loving the sort of dark vibe, but it does need to freshen up. I do need to just reblonde a little bit, get a cut. And if you did see that video, obviously you would have seen that my hairdresser that I have been going to for nearly a decade decided to have a baby. Which I did tell her at the time, it just doesn't work for me. This whole baby thing, this whole time off, just doesn't work for me. But anyway, you'll be pleased to know that I got through it. I've managed it, and bless her heart, 10 weeks post-birth, she is doing my hair on Saturday. We get on like an absolute house on fire, and she's actually a really good friend of mine, so I am very excited to see her have baby cuddles and obviously have a good hair refresh. And I'll be filming some bits and pieces from that, but that'll be on next Sunday's vlog. I have got a huge Mieux haul to undo with you, and I've also got some artwork to show you as well, which I found on Etsy and then went on the actual artist's website. A, it was a lot cheaper to do that, and B, there was so many more pieces on her website, so I'll leave that in the description box down below. Obviously not an ad, bought everything completely myself. Then I also need to do a homeware shop at some point and get some photo frames, but I think I might do that on Saturday after my hair appointment and go into IKEA, so that will be, as I say, next Sunday's video. Now I need to get myself looking a little bit more presentable and do something with my hair, so I will see you guys in a second. Coming to you with a quick 10-second voice note because I filmed all of this the day before, and as we can see, my camera decided to go in slow-mo mode with no sound, which is absolutely wonderful. I had a huge Mieux haul to share with you, which I am going to do in a second as I had to refilm it today, but just so you can see what I had to go through when I came back to rewatching it was this. I did try to speed it up and then put a voiceover to it, but it wouldn't be the same, and I'm big on quality over this side, so I redid everything for you. Happy Friday, everybody! Excusing the equestrian outfits, I am just about to head off in the sunshine, actually, to go and ride Ringo. I can't believe the sun is sort of somewhat shining today. I'm not supposed to be here. I filmed all of this yesterday and have just edited up until this point of this video and have now seen what my camera decided to do. So I'm going to redo most of it. I can't redo the whole Mieux haul as some of it is already at the horses, but I can redo some of it. I want to show you another gorgeous coffee table book, which is equestrian and is an absolute bargain. And also I want to share with you some more artwork too that I've recently bought. So let's jump to it. Starting with the coffee table book, this is £12 by the way. It's heavy, it's weighty, it's absolutely beautiful. This is it up close. And inside this one there is so much history and it makes for such a beautiful read as well. And this would be such a gorgeous gift. Once again, this is Amazon and I actually have a good few more coming, but some of them are going to take a month to arrive because they're coming from America. But obviously as and when they come in, I will of course share them with you because these are just so lovely and there's actually such a lack of them on the internet. So anybody that wants a business idea, jump to it. Very excitingly, I have an artwork haul. This I'm most excited to show you again. I've got to be so careful with touching them as well because I don't get my frames until tomorrow when I go to IKEA. So I was so careful with them yesterday and I've got to be equally as careful with them today. Here I've got 7 equestrian prints to go on the walls. Which walls I don't know, but once I started I couldn't stop. These are so reasonably priced. I think I got all 7 for about £100, but 2 were £30 each and the others were anywhere between £9 to £15 per print. I found the artist on Etsy and then I went over to her main website just to see if she had extra prints, of which she did, and without the Etsy fees on top it also brought the price down, so I'll leave all of her details in the description box. But I just can't tell you the feeling that these have given me. Obviously this is no longer a first impression because I've already seen them, so should you have too, but for obvious reasons you have not. For me, when it comes to art, I can really appreciate illustrations, an actual picture or real life to painting or drawing, if that makes sense. I can appreciate beautiful sculptures and I can appreciate, you know, art galleries and things like that, but for me what I want on my walls isn't anything sort of alternative or super creative, etc. It's really beautiful illustrations of things. This is the first print and this is one of the smaller prints, which is 2 racehorses and their trainer on top of a hill in the winter. And also the quality of paper is fantastic. This one I absolutely love. Now with the next one, I know I already have followers with Palomino ponies, so you are equally going to love this one as much as me. Couldn't resist. I really couldn't resist. It's much brighter than the other ones. I'm not sure which room it's going to go best in either because I do sort of like more earthy tones, but it's Palomino and as I say, just couldn't resist this one. So a little closer look. This one is definitely more sort of my colour theme, more oranges. As you can see behind me there's lots of orange as well. Autumn is my favourite time of year and I just feel like the browns and the burnt oranges, they just give off such a cosy feeling, and that's exactly how I want my home to feel and that's exactly how I want myself to feel. So let's a closer look at that one. This one is one of my favourites and I just love the colour choices of this one. Absolutely beautiful. And as I say, the quality of the paper is just incredible. On to the slightly bigger prints, and I don't necessarily have a favourite, but if you were to ask me to pick just one, I think it would have to be this one. I'm going to bring it straight up so you can appreciate it, but how stunning is this? There's deer in the background, the colours again, such a cosy, warm feeling this gives. Absolutely beautiful. And I feel like if you're buying art or prints or whatever it is that you're buying, whatever it is that you are buying has to give you some form of feeling, and whatever that feeling is, you won't know until you see it, but you'll feel it and you just think, oh, that one's for me. I feel like this with all of these, other than the Palomino ones, which isn't necessarily giving me like a feeling, it's just a really beautiful painting. I feel like with that painting, that's the difference between thinking a painting's really gorgeous or an image or a print is really gorgeous to seeing something and actually feeling something. That just makes me feel something, and I'm not even really sure what that feeling is, but it fills me with something. Same with the last one, which you'll see in a few prints' time. They just give me a feeling, whereas all the others are really beautiful and I cannot wait to have them up in my house because I really, really love them. Obviously, as I wouldn't have bought them. There are 2 in particular that just fill me with, I don't know, love and warmth and, I don't know, all the goodness. So another beautiful one incoming. There's a little fox in the corner and then you've got racehorses hacking down a beautiful landscape. And the last one I feel like may go above my computer screen in the office. And that is actually the main reason why I wanted some artwork, is I was changing my office around and wanted some beautiful equestrian pieces in there. My office was very sort of modern and very my taste a few years ago, whereas I'm now much more earthy, obviously much more equestrian based and much more in touch with my hobby and having various touches of my hobby based around the house. I'm much more into browns and greens and neutrals as opposed to what I was shiny mirrored furniture, which is exactly what was in my office. As well as sort of canvases and paintings from the likes of Dunelm or The Range, which are much more accessible and just not my taste anymore. So I really wanted to change things around a bit. So this photo I think is the one that's going to be replacing the canvas that was above my computer screen. Just wow. I actually just can't cope. How beautiful are these? Now this was one of the more expensive ones. I think this was £28, but still £28 is really, really not bad for something this beautiful that will literally last my entire lifetime if I want it to, and something I can just appreciate every single day. I'm one of those people that is very 50-50 between budgeting, saving money, being really good with my money, but also treating myself. But I feel like this year I'm really wanting to only spend on what I really want, or what I really want to do, or what I really need. Something that when I buy it is going to make me feel something. It's an item of clothing that makes me feel good and it makes me feel sexy and confident, or it makes me feel put together, or wear a pair of pyjamas or loungewear that make me feel cozy and comfy at home. Artwork that I'm going to see on the walls every single day, which is just going to fill me with some form of joy. Holidays with friends, and you know, things that are either going to last in my wardrobe for a long time, last in my home for a very long time, or last in my mind for a very long time in terms of memories and doing things like that. So that would be my top tip on spending, is spend on the memories that you want to create, not on the memories that somebody else wants you to create. There was a book that I read a few years ago, I think it's called The Art of Not Giving a Fork, but obviously not spelt like fork. And it's fantastic. It's one that I thoroughly recommend you read. For personal growth and development within the book, but it really teaches you to only say yes to what you want to say yes to, and it gives you the confidence and the power of saying no. And to put it into an example, your friends are all going out on Friday night. The whole friendship group, they're all going out Friday night. Now, this night out isn't really your vibe, or the restaurant they're going to isn't really your thing. It's going to be quite expensive, and even though you can afford it, you don't necessarily want to spend your money on that. Maybe you need something else, or you want to save for something else, or whichever or whatever. But you feel really guilty because the rest of your friends are going, and if you don't go, then obviously they're going to be talking about you because you're the only one that's not there. This book stops those thoughts. And also, if they're real friends, just because you're the only one not there, they still shouldn't be talking about you. Obviously just an example, but the book is epic and I thoroughly recommend you read it. There is a whole series, but I've actually only read that one. That's my 50 cents on that, and that was my art haul. But I'm now just going to show you the pieces that I got from Mieux before going out into what was once sunshine and now once again looks like rain. What's left of my Mieux haul? Some were rugs and they're already at the yard on the horses, but everything's already in the grooming bag. So let's just start with that and then I can pick things out. So this is one of the new grooming kits of Spring Summer 2024 in the new shade Walnut. And there's been some controversy, hasn't there, about the new shades for Spring Summer 2024. I love them. I think they're really classy. I mean, I understand from a younger audience perspective, they're not super bright, not super sort of summery. From an adult's perspective, and somebody that really wants to have pieces that last in their wardrobe and colours that they can wear year and year upon end, colours that go with any horse, and also all of the colours mix and match with each other. I really, really love them. And okay, yes, they don't scream spring, summer, but in terms of colours, I love them. Also, I'm such a neutrals person, so the fern and the walnut are definitely my favourites. So I went for it in the grooming kit. Now this is complete first world problems as to why I have another grooming kit. I am basically pretty lazy and I want one that is in the tack room for when I ride, and I want one by the stables if I'm grooming them before putting their rugs on. Is it going to save me only about 25 steps? Yes. But do I want to save those 25 steps? That's why I got this grooming kit. But this is a really, really good size. They're really practical for taking to horse shows, obviously really practical for tacking up and just taking around the yard with you. They're lined inside with like a waterproof lining too, so again, if you were to spill some hoof oil in there, or if your mane and tail spray decided to leak inside, really easy to wash and clean. Also in the walnut is a new cap. I was going to be wearing this today, but it now looks like it's about to tip it down outside and it looks like I may not be riding my horse. But this is one of the new caps. Now I am a sun protector girly, not a sun worshipper girly. Factor 50 on the face every single day, and spring summer I like to keep my face protected with a cap. And this also helps me not have to wear sunglasses all the time and actually see what's in front of me when I'm at the horses. But I love this colour, and it's the sort of colour that again is going to go with any colour in my equestrian wardrobe. Love the gold hardware, I'm such a gold girly. Very happy with that. Next up is another pair of the best gloves in the world. These are the Polartec gloves. There are no other gloves like this. These are the best. You don't have to be horsey either. If you have a bit more of an outdoor lifestyle, if you've got dogs that need walking, these gloves are the best because they are thermal, they are warm, they are cozy, but you also have full function in your hands. I ride in them, I can tie a hay net in them, and I think that's probably the best way to describe how functional these are, because I can literally tie a hay net in these. I have a pair that's 3 years old and still going incredibly strong, but it's just nice sometimes to have a second pair, because as I'm soaking hay nets, sometimes they do get a bit damp, and in this cold weather, if I forget them in the car overnight, they do take obviously a day or two to dry out, so just having a spare pair is going to be my saviour. And I also had another pair of gloves as well, which is the work gloves, but they again are already at the yard because I wore them yesterday. Next up, a new fluffy head collar. This one is in the all black. Now this is in a pony size because Truly will eventually fit all of my cob size head collars, and I have a good array of cob size head collars. But at the moment, where she's still growing, she has a really long sort of big head, but it hasn't filled out yet, so the cob sizes are just a little bit baggy on her. And, as you've seen, I'm now walking her, doing a lot more. She's had a rider sit on her, she's had a bridle on. And so I'm thinking about taking her to a show at the end of March, obviously in hand because she's not broken. Zero pressure, and it's a zero pressure show. If she comes off the lorry and she's stressed and I don't fancy actually taking her into the ring, it doesn't matter. If I do end up going into the ring, amazing. If she gets last place, doesn't matter. The ideal situation would obviously be for her to go. I mean, she's going to be a little bit stressed, of course, but for her to just go and actually be as chilled as she possibly can and just get there, go in the class, finish the class, get back on the lorry, go home, and just actually enjoy her day. And I actually think she'll really enjoy showing. She's such a social pony and she loves other horses, and I think showing is probably going to be her thing. Obviously it'll be interesting, and she's not broken or ridden yet, so I don't actually know. But I feel like it may take her more time to get used to dressage because obviously it's going to be completely individual. But we'll see and we'll find out. So this will be her posh head collar, because obviously if she's travelling in the lorry, I want something that actually fits. And then to match the head collar, I have a matching black lead rope. And next up, she has a new sparkly Browband. So she has a bridle, and the bridle was actually Darcy's. If everybody remembers Darcy from a couple of years ago, Darcy had a gorgeous brown leather Mieux head collar, and I always get questions about Darcy. Darcy was actually sold about a year or so ago. It was never actually my horse, she was my mum's horse, and my mum decided during last winter, which again was another really bad winter, that one horse was more than enough for her to look after as she was due her second hip operation. Also actually, Holly update. Holly is having a baby in like a month's time, which obviously will be documented on YouTube. But anyway, Truly obviously then fits Darcy's bridle because obviously I organised all of her tack and her wardrobe, so Truly is in quite a lot of Darcy hand-me-downs as Truly's growing. The Browband on her at the moment is huge, and it's not very princess-like, it's just very normal, and Truly is not normal. And so she had to have a blingy Browband, didn't she? So this one is gorgeous. The heavens have just opened. I don't know if you can hear that. I was gonna ride. This means a whole different outfit change as well. Happy Friday! Anyway, Browband. The last few bits are just items that are going into my grooming kit. A fly spray. This one is fantastic. This is one of the best fly sprays on the market. It is the Power Phaser, and yeah, it's amazing. It lasts for, oh, it says down here, it lasts for 7 hours. I was going to say it lasts all day, but it lasts for 7 hours. Then part of the artisan collection, which I really want to get some more in now that I've actually felt them and seen them in the flesh. They are absolutely beautiful. Talk about investing in quality products and quality products that are going to look beautiful on the side of the show ring. This is the body brush, but this is the body brush with the goat hair in the middle. This is the softest thing ever. I just want to actually just brush my whole body with it. It's that soft. But it's the product itself, they're just so beautiful. And I've also got the hoof pick to match, because I realised the other day I didn't actually have a hoof pick. So I thought I'd go for a bougie one. Again, from the Artisan collection, this is absolutely beautiful. Embossed in gold writing as well. Again, as we know, I'm a gold girl. And lastly, the Tangle Tidy. Now these are the best mane and tail brushes ever. However, my advice would be to actually just go for the plain black one as opposed to the colours that come out every year. Purely because this has never actually happened to me, but if ever anybody else has ever brushed my horse's manes or tails, they break them, even if it's a brand new brush, and the handle will be broken. And it's completely nothing to do with me. So whether it's the handle or whether it's the user, I don't know, because I've never personally broken one, but I am quite soft-handed. But this is the sort of handle that cannot break, so if you are a little bit hard-handed and you find that you break brushes easily, go for the plain black one. But that is my Mieux haul, and I was going to say come with me to ride, but I don't think that's possible. So if by the time I get to the yard it's dry, then in here will be an inserted clip of me riding my horse, but if not, then I will wish you a farewell now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. My next vlog will be my updated Q&A, which I'm very excited for. I got really deep and personal. However, the last 30 minutes of that video, my camera decided to switch again for the slow-mo no sound option. So I do need to redo the last 2 questions, which are probably the deepest of questions, which is really annoying because I got so into it. But such is life and things happen sometimes. But it's going to be a really great video and you're really going to get to know me, and I'm answering all of your guys' questions. So that's on Wednesday, and then next Sunday at 9 AM there's going to be a hair transformation, and I am spending all Sunday with you. I've got the whole day at the yard. I'm going to be shooting content all day on my own, and we're going to spend a gorgeous Sunday together because so far it's saying no rain. But I hope you guys love this video. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all soon. Bye!